Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to the series of e-learning, series of lectures of e-learning, that is through JCE Connect. Okay, so we were discussing about the shear strength of pre-stress concrete member. So in the last session we had discussed about how the shear strength is developed in the concrete because of the external load or because of the shear strength. It is nothing but the internal resistance of member to counteract external load. Okay, and also we discussed about shear stress and the principal stresses, that is the maximum or the major principal stresses and minor principal stresses. Okay, and even we had seen the formula utilized to calculate the maximum and minimum principal stresses. Okay, so in this session we will see how to calculate the shear stress developed in the pre-stress concrete beam. Okay, so I will read out the statement of the problem here. So it is given a pre-stressing concrete beam, 10-meter span, cross section 120 mm by 300 mm, axial pre-stress with a pre-stressing force of 180 kilonewton, and total UDL over the beam is 5 kilonewton per meter. It is including self-weight. Then we have to compare the magnitude of principal tension developed in the beam with and without axial pre-stress. Okay, so it is given as a 10-meter span, a beam of 10-meter span of cross section 120 mm by 300 mm, and that beam is subjected to axial pre-stressing of 180 kilonewton. Means there is eccentricity here 0. If it is eccentricity is not given, means it is axial pre-stressing, means the tendon is located in the center. Okay, the total UDL is 5 kilonewton, that is including dead load and live load. Okay, so I have written the given data here. L is 10 meter cross section, the pre-stressing force, and the total W is 5 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so we will look out for the solution now. So the beam is, I will draw the sketch here. This W is 10 kilonewton per meter, which is include dead load and live load, and the span is 10 meter. Okay, so what they have given, we have to find out, or we have to find out the principal tension developed. We have to find out the principal tension developed in the beam with and without axial pre-stress. Okay, so I will write once again the important note what I have given in the previous session, that is I will write here principal tension stress or tensile stress occurs at a point of maximum shear stress, that is at centroidal axis at support section. Okay, the principal tensile stress occurs at a point of maximum shear stress, at a point of maximum shear stress. Okay, understood? So this word is very important. The principal tensile stress occurs at maximum shear stress, that is at a centroidal axis at support section. Okay, so we have to find out the maximum shear stress. Okay, as I told you, F minimum and F maximum. Okay, when F minimum is positive, that is means compression, so we don't have to worry about it because it develop compression. So concrete is strong in compression, so we don't have any problem. But F maximum is tensile, so that's what is given, maximum shear. It is nothing but tensile stress, so which leads to the tensile stresses, which leads to develop the shear cracks or the diagonal cracks in the section. So we'll look out for the solution here now. So we'll calculate one by one. So first is shear stress. We'll calculate one by one. So we'll calculate shear stress. So for rectangular section we have find out already. So it is 1.5 times V upon BD. Okay. So where V is nothing but reaction, V is nothing but reaction, that is WL by 2, simply supported beam loaded with UDL, so that is WL by 2. So W is 5, L is 10 and divided by 2. So we will get 25 kilonewton. We will get it is 25 kilonewton. Okay. So therefore tau max is equal to 1.5 times V is 25. To make it Newton, I have to multiply into 10 to 3 divided by 120. B is 120, T is 300. So we will get this value as 1.5, that is 1.5, V is 25 into 10 to 3 upon BD. So B is the width of the section is 120 and the depth of the section is 300. Okay, so we will get this as 1.04 Newton per mm square. So we will get the maximum shear stress is 1.04 Newton per mm square. Then next is direct stress. As I told you, the direct stress is due to the axial precessing force, Okay, so here it is, the direct stresses, as I told you, there are two direct stresses, Fx and Fy. So here Fy will be 0 automatically. Why? Because we are not providing any vertical precessing force. It will become 0. Fy will become 0. This is very important. Fy is 0 here. Why? Because we are not providing any vertical precessing system. We are providing, means vertical means along with the depth of the section. Along with the depth of the section, we are not providing any precessing force, or we are not providing any tendons, vertical tendons. So Fy will be 0. Now we have to find out Fx. Okay, we have to find out Fx. Okay, so Fx is given by, we have calculated already, so that is P by A plus or minus P into E into I into Y, or plus or minus M by I into Y. So this is the basic formula for direct stress, that is P by A plus or minus PE into I, Y, so M by I into Y. So this is because of pre-stressing, and this is because of, we have got, so this is because of a pre-stressing force with eccentricity. Okay, so this is because of pre-stressing force, and this is because of movement. Okay, this is because of movement. Okay, so here both the terms will become 0. Okay, both the terms will become 0. Both the terms will become 0. Why? PE by I into Y will become 0 because eccentricity is 0, because it is axial precessing, so therefore E is equal to 0. Then one more here, at support section M is equal to 0, so automatically M by I into Y, that term will also become 0. So as I told you, this term will become 0 because there is no eccentricity, and this term will become 0 because of there is a 0 bending moment at support section. Okay, so that's why both the terms will become 0. So we left with only P by A. We left with only P by A. Okay, so therefore Fx is equal to, I'll rewrite, P by A. Fx is equal to P by A. So P is given as 180 into 10⁻³ precessing force is given as 180 kilonewton, and area is 120 into 300. Okay, so we'll get it as 5 Newton per mm square. We'll get it as Fx is equal to 5 Newton per mm square. Okay, so now the principal tension, okay, as I told you, in the given problem they are asked to calculate the principal tension, magnitude of principal tension, okay, with or without precessing. Okay, so the formula is given as F. I can write F minimum or F2. F1 is for maximum, F1 is for minimum, this is F2 for maximum. Okay, maximum. So here F maximum or F2 given as, the formula is, the basic formula for F is Fx plus Fy divided by 2 minus square root of Fx minus Fy by 2 whole square plus tau v square. Okay, so here, so that is the first case is case 1. Case 1 is without axial pre-stress. They are asked to calculate without axial pre-stress. Without axial pre-stress. Okay, so therefore F2 is equal to, so Fx is 0 because there is no axial pre-stress, so Fx is also become 0. So there is no axial pre-stress, so automatically Fx will also become 0. So Fx plus Fy, so 0 plus 0 divided by 2 minus square root of, so this is also 0 minus 0 divided by 2 square plus tau v square, tau v, so tau v is 1.04 square. Okay, so this is so we'll get F2 is, or the tensile stresses or the maximum stresses, as minus 1.04 Newton per mm square. So this is nothing but what? Maximum tensile stresses. Maximum tensile stresses, that is without axial pre-stress. So you got minus 1.04 Newton per mm square. Means what? A concrete or a given section of size 120 mm and 300 mm of length 10 meter can develop a axial precessing force of minus 1.04 Newton per mm square, or it has to resist, not develop, it has to resist a maximum tensile stresses or the maximum principal stresses, that to in tension is minus 1.04 Newton per mm square, that is without axial pre-stress. Okay, so next is we have with axial pre-stress. With axial pre-stress, okay, so in that we have got Fx is equal to 5 Newton per mm square and Fy is equal to 0 again, because we are not providing any vertical pre-stress in the beam. So again I will write in the formula F2 is equal to Fx plus Fy, that is Fx plus Fy divided by 2. So Fx is 5, Fy is 0 divided by 2 minus again Fx is 5 minus 0 divided by 2 square plus tau v. So tau v is 1.04 square. So we got this answer as, I'll just calculate and I'll check. So we got the answer is minus 0.21 Newton per mm square. So we got the maximum stress developed is minus 0.21. So that is F2 is with pre-stress, we got the maximum principal stress or the tensile stress, we got as F2 is 0.21 minus 0.21 and F2 here it is minus 1.04 Newton per m square. Okay, so what you can conclude from these two answers? What you can conclude? So without axial pre-stress, the concrete has to bear minus 1.04 Newton per m or 1.04 Newton per m square, and with axial pre-stress the member has to bear 0.21 Newton per m square. So there is a reduction in the stress. Because of axial pre-stress. Because what will happen because of axial pre-stress? There is a beam will be in compact form. We are providing the pre-stress on both the side like this. So the beam will be in compact form always because of the axial pre-stress. So what will happen? There will be less reduction in shear strength. Okay, so we can see here without axial pre-stress the concrete has to offer a pre-stress of concrete has to offer the shear stress of 1.04, and with pre-stress the concrete has to offer only 0.21 Newton per mm square. This is the difference when you provide a tendon. Okay, what is the change in the resisting factor? You can see the change. There is a increasing resisting capacity because concrete is resisting more now, because यहाँ पे रिडक्शन हुआ ना, तो उसका मतलब क्या है? कंक्रीट ज़्यादा रेजिस्ट कर रहा है, यहाँ पे ज़्यादा है बिकॉज देयर इज़ नो एक्सियल प्री-स्ट्रेस. तो एक्सियल प्री-स्ट्रेस की वजह से यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? द कंक्रीट इज अंडर कॉम्पैक्ट फॉर्म बिकॉज द प्री-स्ट्रेसिंग फोर्स इज अप्लाइड on both the ends like this. So concrete will be in compact form. Okay, so this is regarding the calculation of the shear strength of the section. Okay, so we can conclude like this also. It is not asked, but we can conclude like this. Hence with axial pre-stress, with axial pre-stress, the principal tension is reduced by, so I can calculate the percentage here. So it is 1.04 minus 0.21 divided by 1.04 into 100. So it is, I will check here, 1.04 minus 0.21 divided by, you can see there is a reduction in the percentage of 79.8%. So what I can conclude here, because of there is no axial pre-stress, so that time the shear developed in the concrete is 1.04, and with axial pre-stress the shear developed in the concrete is 0.21. So there is a percentage of reduction. So how much the reduction is? The reduction is 79.8%. What? The reduction is 79.8%. उतना कंक्रीट को shear कम लेना पड़ेगा. So this is regarding the study over the shear strength of member, how the shear strain capacity is increased because of axial pre-stress, how the shear strain capacity of the member is increased because of axial pre-stress. Understood? So this is regarding today's session. So you go through and you try to solve the problem. Okay, there if you get any difficulty you can contact me. Okay, thank you.